All righty, everyone. Time now, 4:04 on our, what is this, Monday afternoon. Man, I can't even remember what day of the week it is anymore, especially for the kiddos. I mean, you've had, what, a 5-day weekend last weekend. You're about to have a 5-day weekend now, and it's going to be, what, a 6-day weekend now heading into this week, potentially? Crazy stuff. We got the extreme cold we got to talk about, but also the lake effect snow. Now, if you're watching myself or Trent at any point in the last 3 days, we gave you a 3-day heads up that after our big storm yesterday, the lake effect would kick back in. None of the models showed this lake effect snow until I showed it to you last night at 6 and at 11. And I let you know, hey, they have been behind the 8 ball. They have been always behind the curve. This is why we're here with the Power 5 team, our team of meteorologists, making sure we let you know first what we see and we keep it real. Look at this. There it is. There's our lake effect. And we've had 2 bands, and in the last few minutes, 1 big band that has formed. Now, I'm looking over here on my monitor, and I'm starting to see improvements, and this is great. Let me know what you're seeing. And I see here Maureen commenting, snowing pretty good in Lyndhurst. Yes. Let me zoom in the Lyndhurst area right now, actually. What's interesting, and again, I'm going to stop this radar right now. This is what it is right now. Notice, honestly, parts of Lyndhurst, it doesn't even show it that bad, but we can clearly see the main band. Also notice our radar's having a hard time picking some of this up, but in the Beechwood area through Shaker Heights, I mean, we've seen a couple of inches of snow already in Shaker, in Highland Hills, in Orange, in Mayfield Heights. That 271 corridor does not look great. It didn't look great yesterday. It certainly doesn't look great again today. It's been a busy stretch for us here in the Power 5 team, but we've been live with you every step of the way, and we're going to continue to be throughout this event, through the extreme cold that I'll get into. Keep in mind, right now, we're in the middle of our 4 o'clock show, so you're going to notice a couple of times I'm going to stop, and I'm going to be like, we're about to go live on TV. We're going to see both at the same time. We're going to see myself here on Facebook Live, and we're also going to see the show. So let's see here. Alan in Ashtabula, no. Yes, that's it. That's exactly right. Lake effect doesn't hit everyone equally. Look at Ashtabula County. It is reaching southern interior parts of Ashtabula, but I'm going to draw a line basically of where this band is. This band is basically like this. So in Ashtabula itself, you're probably seeing some sunshine and you're like, what lake effect snow? Your time is coming in a couple of hours because this band is starting to push up a little bit. It's starting to lose its stationary part of the motion, and it's actually going to start moving. Let me show you. I'm gonna rewind the radar so you can see what I'm talking about. This is in the last hour. Notice it's moving. It's starting to move. I'm looking here at the bottom of my screen. You can clearly see the motion is like this. So eventually, what is approaching Fairport Harbor, this is going to push into Ashtabula, and I'd say probably by 6 p.m. 6 p.m. in Ashtabula, I probably would expect a little bit of this lake effect to reach you. Between now and 6 o'clock should be okay, but just watch out for the skies. It's going to be a little bit interesting. It's going to look a little ominous in the next hour or so, especially with sunset. Sunset itself, those beautiful colors make it pop a little bit more. It's going to look cool. Now, it's 4:08 right now. I'm going to issue a rainbow alert for areas near Lorain County especially, and parts of Medina County. So if you are anywhere in here, if you're anywhere in this area, I'm issuing a rainbow alert. Lorain, Elyria, Eaton, Grafton, Strongsville. Lake effect is finally pushing away from you in Berea, Strongsville at the airport. It's finally starting to move away. What does that mean? We're still going to have some crystals in the sky, but the sunshine's going to try to poke on through. So that combination of moisture in the sky plus sunshine is going to create a rainbow for some of us. If you live anywhere in these locations, right now in Oberlin, in the Vermilion area, let me know. Do you see a rainbow where you are? There's a chance you're probably seeing it right now in some spots. Let's see here. Mackenzie, still snowing in Parma Heights, has been on and off all day. Oh yeah, for sure. Let me zoom into Parma, where it is snowing a decent clip right now. Let me rewind the radar here so you can kind of see it. In the last hour, Parma has been on and off and back on right now. You're going to have a steadier push here in Parma Heights. Right here, you can see that band, boom. South side of Solon through north side of Independence, barely clipping Brecksville. That area right now, you can clearly see it. And this impacts 271. This impacts parts of the 480 corridor, 77 through the Independence area, and the airport as well. Still seeing snow right now. That's going to continue for just a little bit longer. I know there's a big elephant in the room, and Rachel is asking that big question. So there's one thing that clearly a lot of people still haven't learned yet, and Trent and I, we've been talking about this all winter long. These social meteorologists that post these huge maps, beautiful colors showing 25 inches of snow for the entire country next weekend. That's not happening. But I can tell you that there is growing confidence for a big storm. Not here, not in Northeast Ohio. I'll explain that in a little bit, Rachel, so you might want to stay tuned for that. And I'm going to try to have a bigger update on YouTube and our article on news5cleveland.com later tonight on that. So you might want to stay tuned for that. Brian asking about scheduled travel to New York City Saturday. So Brian, what I just talked about, I would pay out for, attention to the forecast for New York City big time. Not here, not in Cleveland. You should be okay here in Cleveland, but New York City, I would be very worried. If you're traveling Saturday morning, you'll be fine. You'll get in no problems. If you're late Saturday, it might be problematic. Let's see here. Gene says, live by Lake Erie, sky is white. I mean, depends on what part of Lake Erie, because if you're farther to the west, so let's say Sandusky, Vermilion, you're likely seeing sunshine. And I'm going to try to confirm it with you, so bear with me while I pull that up. Let's see here. Bear with me while I do that. I'm going to take a little bit of a tour with you across Lake Erie, so bear with me while the internet tries to cooperate with me, or not. You know how it goes this time of year. So here we go. This is Fairport Harbor right now. I'm going to pull it up. Give me a couple of moments to do so. Bam. So this is Fairport Harbor. This is on the east side. Notice that these clouds right here, you see these clouds right here? This is the lake effect that's pushing into the direction of Fairport. So right now it's calm in Fairport. We had snow earlier. We'll have another round of snow in the next hour. Probably not as intense, but you're going to see that snow. We can see it in those clouds. Let me try to go a little bit farther to the west, so bear with me. This is 90 at State Route 91, a little bit of light snow falling. Now let me go to the west side. And just so you see the difference, let's go to Marblehead. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that a postcard? Isn't this beautiful? This is the beauty of lake effect snow. It's very hit or miss. And if you're getting hit, it's going hard. Thank you, Meredith. I got Meredith in my ear. We're going to be live in 2 minutes on News 5, so you might want to switch over to Channel 5 on your TV while you have me on your phone or your iPad or tablet or wherever you might be watching on YouTube, on Facebook. We're going to be doing this simultaneously, and that's the beauty of technology. Man, 2026 and the ability to do this, it's phenomenal. And kudos to our whole engineering and operations team here at News 5 to get this up and to do it the way we're doing. No one else in Cleveland is doing it, so big shout out to them. Let's go back to the Power of 5 here real quick, and let's take a closer look, though, at what we're looking at. Here's the deal. Look at that. Through areas like Beechwood, Warrensville, Shaker, Richmond Heights, Mayfield Heights, Moreland Hills. This is coming down at a pretty good clip. 271 corridor is not looking good. Let me try to pull up a camera on 271 so I can show you as well. So bear with me one moment while I do that. Kelly asking about those negative wind chill temps all week. And Kelly, thank you, of course, for the question. I mean, this is a big deal, not only for, of course, kids, but also for all the teachers. And I think this is going to last not only for tonight, but tomorrow night too. We're 1 minute away, so I'm going to try to get this ready here for y'all. Give me one moment while I do that. Let's go to... All right, that looks fine. Source. All right, this is 3:15. Cool, thank you. 30 out. It's 271 at 322 right now. Okay. Here we go. All right, we're 10 seconds away from TV. Get ready. Stand by with me. Thank you for that here at 4:15 now on our Monday afternoon. And lake effect snow continues, and road conditions have not been good in over 24 hours across most of Northeast Ohio. Even areas that have stopped seeing the lake effect snow have not stopped seeing poor road conditions. This is 271 at 322 right now. Thank goodness we're actually able to see a little bit of blacktop, but this is far from perfect, and trying to switch lanes is going to be a problem wherever there's two lanes. Or in the case of some of these slip lanes here between these exits, there's only going to be one lane. It's a slow and go. You can see people, they're going about 40, not 65, which is the limit. So pretty crazy stuff. As for big snow totals from yesterday, look at the big totals. Roswell over to Mineral City in Tuscarawas County, well over a foot. And you're exactly in that 12-inch plus zone that we had all weekend long if you've been tuning in with us. And our 8 to 12, literally the lowest spots here in our viewing area were in the Lakewood, Avon area, all at about 7.5 to 8.5 inches of snow. Right on the money with the forecast. Unfortunately, we've added to these totals with some of the lake effect snow that we've had. And watch this with the power of 5. There went our snow from last night. And it didn't take long for the lake effect overnight and into the morning to start to develop. And watch that. It's been consistent most of the late morning and early afternoon. Even though it hasn't looked all too impressive on the power of 5, it is coming down harder than what the radar has it. Let me go in, and this is the beauty of being in the Digital Weather Center. I got the tools right here, and we're going to tell you exactly where some of those heavier snow bands are. And that is the 271 corridor right now. And a little band is trying to form south of 480 as we speak, and this includes the Solon area. So basically, if you're traveling along Pearl Road in Parma Heights, you're going to Independence, Oakwood, Reminderville, Solon, and Bainbridge. This band right here, you can clearly see it. This is producing some sizable snow. Maybe not to the level that we saw yesterday, and not to the extreme level that lake effect can get to. You can thank that ice cover for that. But this is still very modest snowfall, and this is going to cause visibility issues. These are some very fine, flaky, fluffy kind of pellets of snow, and it definitely makes things a little bit tougher out there. Let me advance things, though, forward, because we also got to talk about the extreme cold warning. Everyone in our viewing area has it. You can see that very deep royal blue color. That's because wind chills are going to go 25 below zero for a lot of us. Watch these wind chills go down. And tonight at 11, when you see me for News 5 at 11, we're going to be tracking double 20-plus degrees below zero wind chills. This is in Mansfield, 24 below zero. Ashland, 22 below zero. And I'm worried that the model might be underdoing some of this, but 28 below zero, 16 below zero, it is going to be brutally, dangerously cold out there. So please be extra careful if you have to be out and about at any point tonight into tomorrow. It's going to be brutally cold. We're talking about temperatures on either side of zero for actual lows, but it will feel like 15, 20 below zero tomorrow night and the night after. We'll have more in the next half hour. Cool. All righty. Just like that, magic of TV. All right, I'm going to go back to some of your comments here. So I got 13 minutes with you before my next hit here on TV. Let's see here. Maureen asking about wind chills for tomorrow morning. You just saw it. Here's the thing, though. I actually don't necessarily agree with our future cast. So let's actually go back here. I'm going to pick a different. I'm going to update it just a little bit so I can show you a little bit more of a better representation. So bear with me while I do that. So for tomorrow morning. I'm about to update it here with the new numbers in 3, 2, 1, bam. Here we go. This is a better representation. And you can clearly see that 25 below zero, 28 below zero. Could be as low as 30 below zero along the 71 corridor where we do have that fresh snowpack. And the topography helps funnel that wind and make it a little bit stronger in Ashland and Mansfield. That's why it could be 30 below zero. Brutal, dangerous cold. The coldest night of the season so far, which we just had last week, but we're going to top that again into tonight. Let's see here. Kevin in North Canton, no snow coming down. Yes, please go slow. Kevin, great advice. Took it right out of my mouth there. Great advice. Let me show it to you. North Canton, you're not going to see any more snow because you see that band developing in the Parma area. It's not even getting to the Akron area. Not even close. The closest it is the Bath area. And look at the last hour. Yeah, you're fine. You're arguably seeing more sunshine than clouds in North Canton right now. You can see the clouds, North Canton to the north, Apple Creek, Worcester, mostly sunny. Actually, let's go to Worcester right now. Let me show you Worcester. What does it look like in Worcester? Here we go. Let me show it to you. Bear with me while I pull it up. Yes. All right, cool. I also have Meredith in my ear as well. Yeah, look at that. About 50-50 sunshine and clouds right now in Worcester. So you're done with the lake effect snow in Worcester. That's also good news. But notice, no matter how much you try to clean off these roads, you still get some of that blowing and drifting with those gusts, and you can clearly see road conditions are going to look like that on the side streets. Let's see. Kevin. Yes. Unsure. I didn't get that far. Because we need a market, right? Gotcha. Is it possible to split the 5 in 2 or no? So the first half of the 5, I'm here, and then the second half, I'm back at for big weather at 5:45. I'll be back in C. Thank you. Alrighty. I left this comment here on the bottom. If you're going to be driving around, please, for the love, please clean the snow off the roof of your car and your back windshield. First off, if you don't clean off the back windshield, how are you going to see part of your blind spots? How are you going to see the cars behind you to change lanes? And the top, that snow is very fine. It's like powder, but it comes off in chunks. And imagine if like you're driving 40 miles an hour, you hit a bump, and all that snow from the top of your roof goes to the car behind you. Then they don't see anything. They spin out. They crash. That happens. Please take it off the tops of your cars. Take it off the back windshield. Very, very important. Kevin, thank you for that. Robert asking about the blowing and drifting. Because at least we're not actively seeing snow falling this evening when those winds really do pick up, it's not going to be as bad as it could be, but it's going to be noticeable, Robert. There will be blowing and drifting at any point, honestly, from this evening through tomorrow, because there will be gusts of 30 miles an hour, and those flakes are very fine and very fluffy out there. Let's see here. Amber asking about how much more for Chardon. Another inch or so is possible, as long as the band kind of holds in the Chardon area. You can clearly see it's not as organized as it was, and that's an indication that we are likely seeing weakening. Notice this one big band. I'm going to clear this out here real quick. This was the main band right here. This was the main band an hour ago. Look what has happened to that band. It's kind of fragmented. You have a piece here, you have a piece here, you have a piece here, and that's it. Look, nothing over here. But at the same time, we have a couple of other smaller bands through Lyndhurst right now. Chardon, you're on the south side of another one of these bands. Here's another of the, again, one right there. And then the bigger one looks to be developing in the Independence area right now. And all of this is heading like that into that direction. So it's going to be a little rough, honestly, for another couple of hours. Lori asking about, is this what you said will happen this winter because of La Nina? Yes. We talked about this back in November, before winter even started, about La Nina's impact on winter weather and the fact that this is not any old regular La Nina. Right now, we're on the verge of losing the La Nina and entering the in-between phase between La Nina and El Nino. Years exiting out of a La Nina into an El Nino. We're expecting an El Nino by the end of the year, by the way. These winters where we exit out of a La Nina have been some of the harshest winters in terms of just consistent snow and cold. What have we had so far this winter? Consistent cold and snow. So everything is going along to forecast. And that wild card, we got that big storm yesterday, that January wild card, we're checking it off. We're marking it correct on our grade books, on our tests, on exam papers. And this is just continuation of this kind of cold and snowy pattern. You have the right wind direction, you have the right amount of cold. Lake Erie is at 33 degrees water temperature. We're at, let me double check, about 15. Let me double check what are the current temperatures right now. We are at 15, 14 Elyria, 10 in Fremont, 14 in Ravenna. And that's a big difference between the lake temperature and the air temperature here on land. Big difference, allows you to get lake effect. Even with a mostly iced over lake, there's a ton of cracks, and that allows that moisture to escape, form into the clouds, and produce our lake effect snow today. None of the models had it until last night, but we warned you. I warned you back on Friday. Hey guys, we're going to see lake effect snow after this storm on Monday. Today is Monday. We have the lake effect snow. Everything's going. Now, here's the thing, Ricky. I think you speak for 99% of us here in Northeast Ohio. Hopefully, the worst is over. We can hope. But I can tell you a couple of things with fairly high confidence. We're going to get another piece of the polar vortex to literally eject and come down to our area at the start of next month. If we can time another storm, we're going to get another 8 to 12 or more inches of snow. If that happens, the chance is pretty high for some sort of impact between now and mid-February. I do have good news, though. I think we're going to rebound by the end of February and March. A little too soon for details, but I cannot tell you that the worst is over yet, unfortunately. So anyone wondering about that? Donna asking about Brooklyn. Let's zoom into Brooklyn on the Power of 5 right now. Here we go, into Brooklyn. And it's continuing to snow. Now, the beauty of lake effect, or the curse of lake effect, you can clearly see where the band is right here, right? And then you have another band right here. So you're traveling along Pearl Road. Or how about State Road? Let's talk about State Road. Oh, it's a little hard for me to see because the monitor is so far away. Okay, hold on. So this is 176 right here, and yeah, State Road right here, State Road. This is literally a case of, okay, you're driving south of downtown through Ohio City. It starts to snow. You go through just south of 480. You cross 480. You see sunshine entering Parma. And then you go past Snow Road. You go down to Parma Heights. And all of a sudden, bam, it's snowing heavy again. That's lake effect snow. Literally, this is a couple of miles, like a mile, mile and a half of sunshine. And then you're right back in the lake effect snow. That's just how lake effect snow is this time of year. Mary asking about Brunswick. Let's take our Power of 5 a little bit to the south here. And Brunswick, you will be clearing out. And by the way, I'm about 2 minutes and change away from being back on TV, so you're going to see that shortly. Brunswick, look at that. Most of the lake effect is staying north of you. There is a little bit of light snow, but I think that is either radar noise or that is leaving. Let's see. Yes, so that is leaving. So Brunswick, you're going to be done with the snow any minute now, and you're going to see a little bit of sunshine in the next half hour. Now, if you're in Brunswick, Grafton, Eaton, look out your windows right now or in the next few minutes. Be on the lookout. There's going to be a rainbow somewhere, like a crystally kind of rainbow look. It might look gnarly. It might look beautiful. Be on the lookout for that. I'm letting you know now. There might be a rainbow. So, Ricky, you got it, man. Any questions? The comment section is wide open. So you definitely want to tune in there and ask your questions there. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, Geauga County, like I mentioned a few days ago, Geauga County would be targeted the most, and we don't have just one band. Looks like we have 3 different bands into Geauga County. In the Chardon area right here, we got Burton Lake right here, and then we got the very south side Bainbridge, Manaway area here. 3 bands. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 different bands that is going to move on through. Alrighty. Alrighty, let me get ready here for this hit real quick. Minute and a half. All right, beautiful. All righty, I'm about to run back. I got to get ready to do this weather hit. I'm going to be right back with you in a moment. And not just any weather wall. We're going to go right back to the Digital Weather Center. So bear with me as I make my way down the hall here. Almost jogging here to get back in, but here we go. All right, Geauga County, several bands that I'm tracking. 1, 2, 3. These 3 bands contain decent snow, enough to make visibility less than ideal. And that includes the Chardon area. I'm going to zoom in here. And again, beauty of being here in the Digital Weather Center. I can do this with you live on Facebook and YouTube and on TV. Chardon, notice some of that heavier snow. It's literally pushing down. So Kirtland Hills, Peck's Corners right now, but this right here is pushing into downtown Chardon as we speak. I'm going to keep a close eye out on the cameras. I'm going to show you downtown Chardon on Facebook here in a moment, but you're going to see that snow intensify here in the next little bit. Where is it not snowing? Well, let's go out to Worcester. Look at that. Sunshine's breaking out. And the fact that we still have a few of these ice crystals in the sky and the sunshine is now lower in the sky, there could be a rainbow or two on the west side, Worcester over to Ashland and Elyria in Lorain County. That might be kind of interesting. How about downtown Cleveland? Let's go to downtown Cleveland and look at that. It looks kind of ominous because it's snowing, but the sunshine is trying to poke through. If you're going to try to take a picture of that rainbow or take a picture of how much you're seeing snow-wise, make sure you bundle up. It's 15 degrees, and across much of the area, we're dealing with teens. It gets extremely cold tonight. We'll talk about those details coming up. All righty. And just like that, magic of TV, baby. Let's go. All righty. Let's see. I see some more comments here. Lori asking, how are we going to be able to take the dogs out while it'll be so stone cold? Man, I mean, I'm trying to think back. The last time we have struggled to hit 20 degrees for a whole week. I have a lot of random records in my head. I'm trying to think back. Is it the winter of 69? This must be something that hasn't happened in over 60 years, I think. So we're entering uncharted territory with this kind of stuff, with the amount of cold. I mean, I don't have a dog myself, so I don't know. Technology might be crazy. I'm just thinking outside the box here. Are there like these like dog treadmills by any chance they can buy inside? I'm just kidding. But limit that time outside. Even if you have a pet husky, this is not the type of stuff that you want to be out in for long stretches of time. You can get frostbite in a few minutes. You can get hypothermia within a half an hour, 45 minutes. Not the type of weather you don't want to be outside in that kind of weather. Andy's saying he's in Burton right now. In just a few minutes till the snow comes in, will it change again? Yes. Lake effect snow is rapidly changing conditions. You're in and you're out. I just showed that Cleveland live camera how we rapidly shifted. I mean, let me show you here real quick. I mean, look at that. You can clearly see it's snowing, but you can see those breaks in the sunshine. They're trying to poke on through. Let me get a different vantage point here of Cleveland. Bear with me. Bam. You can clearly see it's still snowing, but you can see the sunshine, like the brighter spots here on the ice on the lake. Those are some of the patches where the sunshine is breaking through the clouds right now. Road conditions are You can see some blacktop on the shoreway, but on some of the side streets, it's still all snow covered. So I would not want to be outside. Let me go to the stadium camera. I mean, look at that. There's your snow band. There's the snow band pushing out of Cleveland right now. It's pushing toward Euclid, toward Wickliffe right now. Downtown Cleveland, Edgewater, Lakewood, look at that. Sunshine. Be on the lookout for a rainbow. I might ask, hold on, where's our Hilton camera facing right now? Our Hilton camera's facing the stadium. If Meredith has an opportunity at some point, no rush, to point the camera west, because there's a chance we might see a rainbow, and just like zoom it out. But if not, then I can ask always later. All right, let's go back to the, let's see here. Jason saying 2002, 66 consecutive days below 20 degrees. Jason, which part? I don't think that is not a Cleveland record. That might be a record for a different part of the country. That 66 day, that would be wild. That would be wild. Let's see here. Yes, that is very true. Did I say west? Meredith confirmed I said west. It's east. You're right. Oh, man. This is what happens when you've been working your butt off trying to get the snowstorm, get all the forecasts right. And thank goodness we did, but we pay a little bit of the price by that. Yes, opposite the sun, 100%. Patty, you win comment of the day. Thank you for correcting me on that. Let's see here. Robert, yes, I mentioned the signal is there. All right, real quick, sidebar. Let's talk about it. Here's the deal. I'm going to pull this up right now. Bam. Cool. Meredith in my ear says, not on our Cleveland camera yet. That faces east. It might be a few more minutes because the sun might be a little too high in the sky still, but we'll keep an eye out. So here's the deal. Saturday, Sunday of this upcoming weekend, there is likely going to be a storm. Now, today is Monday, so we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 or 5 days, right? We're now entering, we're in the scenarios phase. After the 6 o'clock show, I just haven't had time yet. I've been working nonstop. I've been working my butt off, making sure everyone is safe and prepared, and looks like we were because our forecast was spot on for yesterday's storm. I got to talk about how likely it is that we see snow this weekend. Right now, my gut says it's unlikely. My gut says we're not going to see snow this weekend, unlike some of the social meteorologists everywhere on the internet proclaiming ginormous snowstorm. It could be for Boston, could be for Washington, D.C., not here in Cleveland. So I'm going to highlight that for you for this upcoming weekend. But even beyond this weekend, through the first week and a half of February, the books are open. We got to identify our cold signal, right? That's our first step. As long as the cold is locked in and we're within a week, we're going to track the trends. Anything at this point that is 16.5 inches, that is just hearsay. So don't listen to that on the internet, okay? Hopefully that helps out there, Robert. Again, any comments, let me know what you're seeing because we're continuing to see that lake effect outside. Again, I drew this a few minutes ago, and now look at that snow. And now it's now pushing into downtown Chardon as we speak. It's a little bit farther now to the south. So as you can see, it has been moving in that direction. You can see it. You can see that. Bam. You see that? There it goes. Bam. Into Chardon right now. Other parts that are also seeing that lake effect snow are Geauga County, northern Portage County. You're about to get into it as well in the Manaway and Hiram areas. Look at this. Brecksville, you're also going to be on the Twinsburg, right on the edge of it. Manaway on the edge of it. This band right here is starting to become the dominant band. Parma included in that band. Basically, airport to the east. This is the main band right now. And it's growing. I mean, look at it. It's becoming, look, it wasn't as intense an hour ago, and now it's starting to kind of settle in that one single spot. So where is it right now? Let's start from west to east. Parma, most of you are included now. Notice Brooklyn a few minutes ago had the snow, and just like that, gone. You're likely seeing some peaks of sunshine in Brooklyn right now. Parma, down through Parma Heights and Independence. Right now, Independence, the 77 corridor. Let me try to log into my ODOT cameras. Let me try to get 77 for you so I can show you what I mean. Bear with me while I do that. Let's see here. Bear with me. Having a little trouble here with the cameras. I'm going to make it work here. Give me a moment. Again, in the comments, let me know what you're seeing where you are, because it will help me out, because the radar only sees part of it. All right, here we go. This is what it looks like, and it doesn't look great. I'm going to show it to you right now. If I can find my camera here real quick. Am I missing it? There it is. This is 77 right now. Let me zoom this out real quick so you can see the whole picture. Bam. Hillside in 77 does not look good right now. Look at that. Already, the snow just, also, look at the size of the flakes. These are ginormous, fluffy flakes. This is the perfect temperature for these flakes to fall in. You're keeping their consistency, you're keeping their hexagonal look, and because there's enough moisture, because it's coming off the lake, these big flakes are clumping together. So you have these six-side hexagonal snowflakes holding together, clumping together, mashing together with other snowflakes, and they're producing these ginormous flakes. And arguably, I'd say this is the worst driving weather, because, of course, the camera does a better job of differentiating it, but to our human eyes, you see these huge flying projectiles, which are these big snowflakes. It makes it hard out there. It makes it hard for sure. Let me actually show you this. I'm going to try to pull it up here on my end. Let's see if it's going to work. I took this yesterday. Let me make this full screen. Let's see, is this going to work? I hope this is going to work. Let's see. All right, you see this? I took this last night right before I started cleaning my car after our evening shows. Look at these flakes. Look at this perfection. Look at this six-sided hexagonal. And this is the macro mode on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Wild. But also notice these needles. I mean, there's a snowflake right there. It's just out of focus. Look at these needles. These are all these big snowflakes clumping together in such a way that they're super airy. So they end up being big snowflakes, like big snowballs almost, falling from the sky. I hope that makes sense. That's what we're dealing with when you have lake effect, that moisture off the lake, the warmer temperature. But the flakes themselves are flying through air that is super cold, perfect for keeping that consistent six-sided thing that we learn about in grade school. Like, isn't that beautiful? That is on my Facebook page, by the way. So if you haven't been on it yet, this is where you can find me. Again, if you haven't followed me yet this winter, I don't know, first off, what you're waiting for. Let me do this. Let me plop this right back. Bam. Make sure you're following me. I have that picture in high resolution, and I have another one as well. Allan Weather TV. And then also Instagram and X, I post a lot of geek stuff. So if you're a weather nerd, make sure you're following on X. Facebook, there you go. Make sure you're following. Let me go back to the ODOT camera though real quick, because I'm looking at it here on my second monitor, well, third monitor. It's getting worse before it gets better. Let me show it to you. Look at that. Look at that visibility. We're now talking half a mile or less. You can't see much farther than you know, like the end of the camera there. That's about a half a mile away, and it's very, 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 very blurry there. That snow's coming down. I mean, these snowflakes are huge. They're chunky. This is not good driving weather. That is for sure. And also notice, we're now entering rush hour. This is less traffic than usual on 77, so I do like to see that. That is at least a good sign. Let me check the comments here. Ricky, yes, thank you so much. Yeah, I was just as shocked when the macro mode. Imagine if I had a DSLR that were actually able to do macro. Man, that photo would have been even cooler. Let's see here. Laura, hey, this is what I'm here for, Laura. So I appreciate the kind words. And I know North Canton, one of the jackpot areas with over a foot last night, measured by a couple of people. And as we're about 2 minutes away here, Patty asking about, shouldn't lake effect be dying down? No, not until the lake is completely iced over. And even though it's about 90%, I want to show you this if I'm able to pull it up. Let's see. Yes, I can pull this up. Bear with me while I do this. Look at this. So this is Lake Erie. And you notice the primary color here is orange. Orange is class 3 or 4. Now, if we go back, hold on while I do that. Where is it? Let me show you this. Orange, you see it right here? Right, this right here. Orange, light to moderate ice conditions. Basically, if you're a big ship, you're actually still able to traverse it. You have the proper equipment, of course, but it's ice that is very cracked. So you're able to get that moisture from Lake Erie still into the clouds. It's when you get to the red on the map. Let me show you the red on the map. That is heavy to extreme ice conditions, and we don't have that yet. Let me show you this. Oh, we want to go to the other side of Lake Erie. Here we go. Look at this. The only tiny bit of red is right here along the coast on the east side of Cleveland. Everywhere else, it's orange. And because it's orange, you're still able to get that fuel for lake effect. It's not as intense, it's not as efficient, but it's still there. Hopefully that helps out with the kind of analysis with that. Alrighty, I'm a minute away here. I'm gonna drop the comment. Keep letting me know what you're seeing where you are. I'm gonna read it right after my weather hit on TV. I'm gonna get ready here, 30 seconds away. Let me clear this out and let me play this through. Here we go. And hey, Ashtabula County, get ready because the snow will be moving in as well at 3:20 for this. All right, beautiful. All righty. Here we go. 10 seconds away, guys. Alrighty, back to our continuing snow coverage. Man, it's starting to run out of breath how much snow we've been having here across Northeast Ohio. Yesterday was big system snow. Today, like we talked about, we are the first to let you know, hey, Monday there will be lake effect snow. Your weather app didn't say it. Our Futurecast didn't say it, but we knew the ingredients were there. And look at that. We have this narrow band that stretches from the airport through Parma, just south of Solon, Reminderville, and Silo right now, where it's snowing and the visibility is actually pretty rough. The worst of it looks to be going through Reminderville right now. I'm going to zoom it in here as I'm in the Digital Weather Center. So after this, you can hop on over to Facebook on your second device and kind of stream us at the same time as News 5. Manaway is getting into that heavy band right now as well. What does it look like on the cameras? Let me pull up I-77 right now. And this is at Hillside. I mean, look at that. This road was mostly blacktop 10 minutes ago, and now we got that covering the snow as this snow band has pushed back in. So the plows are going to have to go back there in a little bit once we get a little more accumulation. People are going slower than the limit, which is good to see. They're going about 45, 50 instead of 65 or 70. Again, that's what this kind of snow will do. It will slow you down. It will reduce the visibility, so please be extra careful out there. And even if you don't have the snow, we have the cold. Extreme cold warnings. For the first time this season are in effect everywhere. And that's because the wind chills, they're going to be brutally cold. Look at them dropping through tonight and into tomorrow morning. These are not typos. I made sure I double checked. I put the correct information in. 31 below zero in Ashland, 28 below in Mansfield. This area here with the topography and the wind direction could favor those really, really dangerously cold wind chills. 19, 20 below here in downtown Cleveland, 25 below in Akron. So we crossed that threshold needed for a cold weather advisory for sure. Oh, did I mention more snow is on the way? The lake effect dies off this evening. This is probably a little too early on the Futurecast at 7 o'clock, but we do get a break. We'll see some clearing skies for middle of the night tonight, but watch what comes in tomorrow morning. Clipper by the end of the morning commute tomorrow will bring a brief burst of snow that will drop a quick coating to an inch, and then into the afternoon, this is my worry. Look at these snow squalls. Look at that. This could be intense with a little period of some lake effect on the backside for the Tuesday evening commute. This could drop another couple of inches of snow wherever those squalls persist. This is not a great look, folks. This is going to be rough out there for sure, all the way through Tuesday evening. by Tuesday night, we clear things out. And I think we finally do get a break from all of this snow. I expect Wednesday to be a dry day overall, just some clouds. And I mean, these are brutal temperatures. Our futurecast probably overdoing the cold a little bit, but I'm not surprised it's doing it because of the fact that we have all the snow on the ground. And the snow does a really good job of preserving the cold. It allows any heat to escape and knock the temperatures down. So I'd argue even tomorrow night, we might drop below zero again, and Wednesday night too. So crazy weather pattern for the whole of next week. Beautiful. Just like that, we're done with the 4 o'clock weather hits on TV, but I'm going to stick around with you here on Facebook Live because we got so much to talk about, friends. And Juliana coming in clutch with the question, what is the difference? And let me show you what that difference is. Bear with me while I pull it up. Bam. Here we go. So I think what she meant, Juliana, is cold weather advisory, not winter weather advisory, because winter weather advisory is for snowfall of 2 to 6 inches of snow. So we had a cold weather advisory last week a couple of times, right? It's really a matter of what the wind chill is expected to be. We had wind chills of about 20 below zero, right? 20 degrees below zero is between these two numbers, 15 below, 24 below. You see that? We were firmly in the middle of the cold weather advisory. What I just showed you a couple of minutes ago is enough to trigger this extreme cold warning because I showed you 30 below zero, and that is lower than 25 below zero, right? Bam. Whew. Got to take my breath here for a moment. This is, I mean, think about it. I'm a meteorologist, so I've seen some crazy weather in the history books. In our neck of the woods, we get winter weather. I've seen so many comments on the internet, whether it's our Facebook Live or some of our Facebook posts like, hey, it's just winter in Northeast Ohio. When you combine everything that has happened over the last few weeks, all happening one after another, with almost no break, that is like an avalanche effect. So each event on its own is not a blockbuster. It's not the end of the world. Yes, I agree with that. But when you have this storm, and then right after it, lake effect, and then right after it, extreme cold, and then right after it, even more cold, and then another storm, it adds up quick. And this is why this winter has been one of those more intense winters across Northeast Ohio. I hope that analogy makes sense with this whole avalanche effect. And hopefully this explanation also helps out, Juliana, about the difference between the advisory and the warning. Let's see. Patty, you got it for the explanation. Hopefully it doesn't get cold enough to turn it red. Not quite sure what that means, but okay. Again, another question about this upcoming weekend. Man, these questions never end. Thank you, social meteorologists, for making our job so much more complicated. No, just kidding. Here's the deal. I don't have the graphics ready yet. What I can try to show you, I'm going to try to show this to you. Let me try to find it here real quick. This is from last week. This is not ready yet. So I'm going to delete everything off this graphic. So bear with me while I do that. Okay. And then let me get rid of that. And then let me change the time so that it's correct. Let's do that. Okay. So here's what it looks like on one of our computer models. And again, you're only going to see this here. I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. Let me delete this, and let me delete this, and let me delete this. Okay, let me go back. So this right here, this is the polar vortex, a piece of the polar vortex. This contains our Arctic cold, right? This, we're going to have to track very closely. Watch what happens. I'm going to advance this. This is for Thursday, as you can clearly see. Look what happens. It dives down, right? So by Friday, I'm expecting even colder temperatures. Look at that. This polar vortex piece is now into Cleveland by Friday, right? So the cold, that Arctic cold is ready. Now, at the same time, look at this. You have a little piece of energy over the Gulf. This is going to push in. It's going to, this is going to be basically taken up by this right here, right? This is going to bring a storm. Where does it go is the next question. Let's go ahead. Look at that. Now notice this. All right, let me get rid of, hold on. Let me get rid of this. Here we go. So from what I'm seeing here, it's hard to see because I lost one of my monitors, but the storm itself is going to go up the East Coast if this is correct. And you see this red line right here? This is like a brick wall. So anything on the other side, it's dry. So at this point, the most likely scenario is dry. We miss out on the weekend storm here in Cleveland. The storm would be right along the I-95 corridor, Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, Richmond, Virginia Beach, Outer Banks. You can clearly see that would be our zone for big winter weather if this model is correct. There's going to be changes, of course. There's a scenario where this can literally move. And let me actually move it for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me move this. Which way? This way. So imagine this storm moves like that. That means that we could get a little bit more of that snow. It's possible, but this is getting too ahead of ourselves. So I'll have a bit of more of an explanation later this evening. So stay tuned for that. Of course, everyone's here for what we're dealing with right now. So let's go back to the Power 5 and let's take a look. What has happened in the last hour? I have good news. Do you see that? Right here. Look at that. The lake effect is finally fading. This is what we love to see. Notice we're starting to lose some of the precipitation right at the coast. So that's our first indicator that we're going to start to lose the lake effect. Euclid just had a heavy burst of snow, but you're likely breaking out into sunshine right now, believe it or not. Wycliffe, also, you had that heavy burst of snow. You're now fading. 271 corridor, you're literally in and out right now. I mean, literally. You're driving on 271 right now. From Gates Mills down to Orange, it's snowing heavily. Then you hit the intersection with 480, and just south of 480, it's not snowing. You have sunshine in Bedford, and then in Oakwood, it's snowing again. This is what happens with these snow squalls. Pretty crazy. Hey, this is what I'm here for. Appreciate the kind words. Patty, oh, that is so unfortunate to hear there. So sorry to hear that. Hopefully it's going to come back here. All righty. In my ear, I have Katie asking where I am. So Katie and Damon, they're getting ready for News 5 at 5 right now. But I'm over here in our digital weather center, so we're going to have some TV magic here in a couple of minutes. Again, any questions, let me know. Juliana, yep, you got it. Any questions, let me know in the comment section. Although, Meredith, I don't know if you're able to see by any chance on the Facebook Live. It looks like there's like some sort of grain going on, maybe like an iris situation. Not quite sure. That just literally just popped up in the. Sure. Gotcha. Okay. So we'll keep an eye out for afterwards. Let me get ready here for the 5 o'clock show because we are 2 minutes away now. Man, time is flying when you're having fun, right? Solon area continuing to see that snow. I'm going to try to pull up a camera in 422 right now. Right, 422? Yeah, I'm going to try that right now, so bear with me while I do that. And while I look up at the camera, please, in the comment section, let me know where you're seeing the snow and where you're seeing sunshine. All righty, let's see. I'm going to keep that camera. I'm going to go to the other one. I'm going to go to this one. I was looking at 422, correct? Correct. All righty. Cool. Perfect, thank you. All righty. So I'm going to be live in 1 minute. I'm looking at the cameras right now. I'm definitely seeing some snow, so we're going to show it all together. Wow, Cleveland looks beautiful now as the lake effect ban is finally ending here in town. Let me just get these cameras here ready. Copy, paste. And then let's go to router source. Bam, this is 422 at 91 in Solon, and you can clearly see the snow is starting back up again there. The other story, of course, is the cold, so let me grab that. 10 away. Alrighty, stand by everyone on Facebook Live. We're about to go live here on TV as well, so we're gonna do this all together at one. Say, if anyone wants to take a screenshot of them watching Channel 5 and the live stream, I'd love to see that. No, not even close, in fact, Damon and Katie. We got more lake effect snow right now. We have a clipper and snow squalls tomorrow, and we have extreme cold, even colder than what we've had at any point in the winter so far. A lot to talk about, but I want to get you out the door this evening if you have to be outside, if you have family or friends commuting back home from work. We got lake effect snow, and this is 77 at Hillside. Not far from the Independence area where that snow is coming down. You can see those flakes. They're a little bit bigger as well. And I'm here in the Digital Weather Center, live on Facebook as well. We're doing it all. Let me show you what the Power 5 looks like right now in that area. Let me zoom things out. And this is what it looks like in the Oakwood and Bedford area. You can clearly see there's this one band that has developed and has been kind of meandering between Independence and Oakwood. And that has been producing some heavy snow for the last hour. And I do continue to expect that for another hour or two. The other big story, though, is the cold. When you factor in the wind, which has started to pick up this evening, it feels like a balmy 2 degrees here in downtown Cleveland, 1 below Sandusky over to Norwalk. So it's cold. It gets colder tonight. We'll take a closer look at that extreme cold warning and the rest of the 7-day coming up. Cool. Thank you. Just like that, TV magic. Let's actually go back to this camera. I skipped over it here for time purposes, but look at the snow picking up. The trees over there, the trees are becoming a little muted, a little grayer. So it is coming down a little harder now in Solon. This is 422 at 91. We're seeing that snow picking up there. Again, extreme cold warning. So 2 big stories. 1, snow. 2, cold. I wish the 2 big stories were sunshine and warmth. We don't have any of that in the 7-day forecast. In fact, actually, for kicks and giggles, let me see. Let me see here real quick. I'm going to pull this up. Let's do this together. Let's do a little science experiment. No, not really. Let's just look at this. This is the air that's coming in. Look at all of these wind chills. All of that. 15 below 0 Fort Wayne, 12 below in Chicago. That's moving in our direction. And look at this Arctic cold everywhere. Every state has at least blue, which is below freezing. Every state, except, oh, Florida also has it, by the way. It feels like below freezing in the Panama City area, but what a difference. Let me actually pull it up here real quick. Places model. Let me do this real quick. This is a little behind the scenes on how we do some things here. Let me just clear this out here real quick. Just so you can see if this were to work. Okay, it's broken for some reason. Okay, hold on. Let me try this again. Let me try this again. There we go. Just so you have an idea. Let me show you this Here we go. 1 second. Environment. Let me get this correct. All right, there we go. These are wind chills right now. So right now it feels like 2 in Cleveland, right? Let me clear this out. So it feels like 2 right now in Cleveland, but in Miami, it feels like 87 right now. Raise your hand. Let me know in the comments, where would you rather want to be right now with these kinds of temperatures? Do you want to be in Miami? Do you want to be in Orlando where it feels like 66 right now? Believe it or not, Mobile, Alabama feels like below freezing right now. New Orleans feels like 30 right now. This cold is intense. This is for thousands of miles. This stretches from basically the Rocky Mountains of the West all the way to the Cascade Mountains, through the Rockies, through the Great Plains, through the Upper Midwest, through the Great Lakes, and all the way to the Northeast. Everyone is dealing with brutal temperatures. So the purplish pink colors, that is a wind chill below 0. The bright blue colors, those are wind chills that are between 0 and 30. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. I'm texting Trent here real quick as well, so bear with me. All righty, let's see. I got some questions here. Ricky saying it's sunny in Ohio City right now. Yeah, let's go to the Power 5. I can show you exactly that right now. That's it. Goodbye to the lake effect. You can see the last of it. There it goes. Goodbye. See, it's all pushing east. We're finally shutting off the lake effect machine, which is fantastic. Let's see. Juliana saying breakthrough in the clouds in Medina. Nice, nice. Yep. You can clearly see it here on the Power 5. I mean, you can clearly see. I'm going to pause the radar right there in the satellite. So, boom. This is where the clouds are right now, right here, like that. So everything east, like this. It's all pushing east. So basically, let me redraw that real quick. Let me make it a little clearer just to make it consistent here. Basically, like that. So in Medina, you're probably already seeing a few breaks in the clouds, but fully sunny conditions are just to your west. Lorraine, Elyria, it's mostly sunny there. Let me actually show you what Marblehead looks like right now, if I can pull it up. Bear with me. Let me pull this up real quick. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Man, what a beauty. This is great. This is great. Clear. This is what we expect tonight sky-wise. It will look great, but a clear sky at night plus snowpack, that's a recipe for the temperatures to go below 0. It's going to be brutally cold out there. Mary, I know we hate to talk about sub-zero and brutal cold, but we got to talk about it. So Nancy, coming from Fort Lauderdale originally. Oh, I mean, Fort Lauderdale has gotten down below freezing before. It's been a while, but you've been also in the 30s not too long ago, but that's nothing compared to below 0 actual temperatures, 25 below 0 in feels like temperatures. Ricky, I know our schedules have been a little all over the place, but we just wanted to make sure that we're covering you and making sure everyone is safe, informed, prepared with all the snow. So thank goodness, hopefully it's the weekend, but we'll see. So it is going to be a couple of days, much needed days, but again, all weather dependent. JD asking about Canton tomorrow morning. Let's take a closer look at that. Let me go here real quick. Let me update the graphic too, because I haven't updated it fully. Bear with me while I update this graphic. All right, here we go. Let me do this. Let me delete this. We want to go to tomorrow morning. So JD, this is for tomorrow morning in Canton. Feels like temperature 24 below 0. dangerous cold. The coldest we felt so far this season, even colder than last week. Remember last Tuesday? It felt like 19, 20 below zero. So this is another 5 degrees below that. So please be extra careful. Please. If you don't have to be outside, don't. If you have to drive, if you have that remote start, that's going to be a huge help for sure tomorrow to get the car warmed up beforehand. And then look at that. For all day tomorrow, we'll be lucky if we even feel like zero. We might be sub-zero all day long tomorrow. In Canton, 8 below zero the entire way through. Ridiculous amounts of cold all day long, unfortunately. And look at tomorrow night. This is into Wednesday morning. I mean, look at that. Whew. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Man. I'm also trying to do a little research. I don't know if there are any history buffs on our live stream. Or feel free if like you're a historian or someone who collects data or is maybe a little bit of a hobbyist and has been in Northeast Ohio. Let me know, in relativity, these very long cold stretches, where does this rank? I mean, so far, of course, it doesn't really rank, but anticipating this cold to stay into the month of February, let me know. This is something I would love to work on too, just to put things into perspective, because you have the crowd of people who are like, this is a normal winter in Northeast Ohio. It's not a normal winter. And I wanted to maybe put a little more perspective so that people can understand. Maybe some people don't quite understand what we're actually dealing with. So that would be something really cool that I could potentially work on. So any archivists, any researchers, any historians, or if this is your hobby too, I'd love to hear from you for that. I agree with that. Holy guacamole. Speaking of food-related items, tonight, hey, teachers, I don't know if there's remote school in some areas or not, or maybe you're a teacher and you have a kid at home. Try this experiment out tomorrow morning. Have spaghetti boiling, right? So you're cooking that spaghetti. It's almost done. You take a fork, you pull a little spaghetti up, and then you go outside, wait a couple of minutes, and that spaghetti will freeze. And you don't have to touch it. Like, the weight of the ice is going to be crazy. That's a really cool science experiment you can do tomorrow because of the power of the cold. Patty, 72 years. Wow. Well, first off, kudos. That is incredible to hear, Patty. Thank you for that. 72 years, and no, this is not normal. I'm telling you, this ain't normal. So that is really helpful, Patty. I was going to say, I might work a little bit on something like that. Just talking to people who have been here all their lives, who have experienced the more extreme storms. I mean, you remember the blizzard of 78, most likely. That is the most extreme of extreme. So yeah, pretty crazy. JD, you're welcome for that. Any questions? Again, I'm here in the comments. Let me know. I'm here for another about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to hop back in to the newsroom. Let's go back to the Power 5, though. The other big story, of course, is the snow that is still ongoing. But notice how much weaker it is now. Look at that. Look how much weaker this is. So you clearly, an hour ago, this is an hour ago, right? You had 1, 2, 3, right? 3 bands. This is an hour ago at 4:13. Now let's go to 5:13. Look at that. This one's fading fast. This one looks a lot weaker. And then this band has shifted a little east. That's about it. Like this is really the last of it right here. So Manaway, you're going to get some snow right now. Chagrin Falls, you're seeing some lighter snow. This is better to see. This is great to see, actually. Let me zoom back in here. You can clearly see the band right now. Through Aurora and Silo and Garrettsville. These are the areas that are seeing the heaviest of the snow right now in Northeast Ohio. And it's not as heavy as it was. Again, everything is fading now that the sun is going down as well. And this will be gone by 7 o'clock across the entire area. So pretty much on track with our forecast from last couple of days. Let me clear this out real quick. Yeah, good news. Out toward the lake, there is still a little bit of energy, but it doesn't look like a lot. This might clip northern parts of Lake County and Ashtabula as well. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. I got producer Amanda in my ear, keeping me updated because we are live on Channel 5. So, fun fact, if you're able to grab a different iPhone or something, a device you're not watching, turn on the TV to Channel 5. Make sure you have my stream on right now and take a picture of me on Facebook Live or on YouTube and on Channel 5 at the same time. That would be cool. And send that picture to me. That would be really, really cool. Anyone who might be having multiple monitors at home. Let me get ready here with the weather hit real quick. Also, I'll be showing this in the next couple of minutes. I haven't had a chance yet. Look at this. This is so brutal. I'll explain that in a moment. I just wanted to make sure that was all updated. So bear with me while I do that. Bear with me. Much better. Okay, that should be good. I'm just updating a couple of things here to make sure everything is good. Yes. Do I have a first weather at 5:30? Okay, cool. Yes, I'll be back there at 5:30. Back in C. Okay, we'll do. 1 minute to me. No talls. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm just gonna set up here, make sure I'm ready for TV. So you're gonna see me both on TV and on Facebook Live. All right, here we go. All righty, we're less than 30 seconds away. Here we go. Ten seconds. Morgan, thank you. Here we go at 5:17, and I do have good news for you with the lake effect. We were talking about how this would eventually fade by the evening hours, and now approaching 5:30, look at that snow. It's now diminishing on the power of 5. It's not over yet. We still have one band that is trying to hold on for dear life through Twinsburg and Manaway, and that will still drop the visibility and make things a little slow and go for the evening commute. But the other two bands I was tracking, notice how much weaker they are. As soon as the band kind of pushed south of Chardon, look at how much it has fizzled. That's good to see. But if you're in the primary snow belt still for the next hour or so, I recommend staying inside, just avoiding some of that stuff. And I'm going to have to update these snow totals because we've gotten more snow today after the snow from yesterday. And our big totals were, of course, south of Canton in Tuscarawas County, Roswell, Mineral City, up to 16 inches of snow. We talked about it for a couple of days now. Stowe at 12, Medina 9.5. And Medina, with some of the snow today, you probably are closer to a foot now. Lakewood, 8 inches, but another couple of inches, you're probably closer to 10 inches today. Pretty crazy stuff. As soon as that storm left, look at the lake effect coming right back in. There it comes. And it hasn't looked that impressive on the radar. Radar has been underselling it, just like the Futurecast. It has been heavy at times, and we've seen several inches fall. I'll get that updated list for you in a little bit as soon as I get that information. But you can see that it's been snowing for many hours now across the snow belt. Luckily, it is going to be a lot better for the overnight hours in terms of sky conditions, but not with the actual temperatures. We're going to be on about 0 degrees by midnight, and it's only going to get colder from here on out. By tomorrow morning, we're talking extreme cold warning everywhere across Northeast Ohio. You can clearly see that dark royal blue color everywhere. The first time we're seeing this season. Probably not the last based on how much cold air I'm expecting over the next couple of weeks. So watch these wind chills go from 4 below in Cleveland this evening down to 18 below zero tomorrow morning. 27 below zero, Medina to Ashland. That topography plus wind direction and that snowpack on the ground, allowing the temperatures to drop, the wind to increase, and bring us the coldest feel we've had so far this season. 25 below Millersburg, 24 below in Canton. That's dangerous cold. That's something you do not want your kids to be out in. And it's not going to be anywhere near the 0 degree mark at any point during the day tomorrow. At best, we feel like 3 below in Cleveland. So it's sub-zero wind chills all day long tomorrow. And it's brutally cold Wednesday morning. So why was I talking about a 6-day weekend for the kids on Facebook Live? This is why. We have not had this many days in a row or in this very short amount of time with these kinds of wind chills. Usually this is a one-day, one-hit wonder kind of thing, and the cold air pushes out. But the cold air is here to stay. Look at this. These are daytime highs over the next week. Look at this. This now goes basically off our map. I had to shrink the bars because these bars were just bottoming out. They were past our graph. 25, 26 degrees below average. Brutal cold, no matter how you slice it. So tomorrow, believe it or not, is the warmest day in the next 7 at 16 degrees. We fall to 11 on Wednesday, 13 on Thursday. I mean, this cold will be lasting with us through the start of February. All righty, and that's how you do live TV. All right, I'm going to answer your last questions here. Take one more look at the radar with you here on Facebook Live, YouTube, and I'm going to head back in to do the rest of News 5 at 5. Michelle on YouTube saying a huge thank you for keeping us all safe out there. Never felt so calm about winter in years. Michelle, thank you so much. That means a lot to me because in this day and age where we've had some crazy things go on, where we have these social meteorologists that are scaring and hyping things out of oblivion, my goal, our whole Power 5 team's goal is to make sure everyone is on the same page, everyone's prepared, informed, and we give it to you exactly what we're expecting. No hype. So appreciate that, Michelle. Juliana asking about a relief from this winter. We got 2 to 3 weeks at least to go of this kind of brutal cold. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. Negative wind chills in the morning all week, Lori? Yes, all week long. Let me show you that 7-day one more time. These are actual low temperatures. So if you have actual lows on either side of 0, best believe the wind chills in the morning will be below 0. I mean, 10 below 0 is better than 20 below 0. Like 10 below 0, you'll probably still go to school. But the next 2 mornings, I don't see a way that the kids safely go to school. I'm sorry. Even through all the mittens and the gloves and everything, you need like 3 pairs of mittens to keep them warm. So let's see here. A couple other comments. Oh, I appreciate that. I mean, Dick Goddard is a legend, so I appreciate that. Very, very kind words there. And average high on the last page is wrong. It says 36. That might be a bit wrong. It's not wrong. That is the average high in Cleveland during January 26th. Today, the average high in Cleveland is 36. That's just a testament to how ridiculously cold our forecast is. It's not a typo. Let me show it to you, actually, in real time. Let me show you this. I'm going to pop this up. We're going to go to the National Weather Service website so you know that I'm not joking around. Climate. All righty. Daily Almanac. Today, the average high in Cleveland is 36. I don't know how I can zoom this in. I can. Let's see. Let's see. Average. Ooh. See, normal high, 36. Not a typo. Not a typo. And Patty, yeah, no, that's the problem, that sometimes we underestimate the cold and it ends up being colder and we just don't have the type of proper clothing there. Alrighty, I'm going to wrap things up here at 5:23. I got to get ready for the 5:30 show on News 5. So any other questions, make sure you're following me on Facebook. Ask me there. Send me a message. Post as a comment on this live stream or elsewhere. Let me pull this up one more time so that you can see. Again, if you're new, this is where you can find me. Allan Weather TV, Allan Weather X and Instagram. All right. Make sure you're following me there for more of these updates. And one last comment goes to YouTube. 36 would be a blessing. We don't have that anytime soon, not for another 2 or 3 weeks. So we're in it for the long haul. Please stay warm, everyone. Stay warm, stay safe, stay bundled up. I'll be with you over the next few days as well here on Facebook Live, tracking more of this extreme cold and more potential snow as well.